I'm sorry, did Trump just attack senior citizens?
Our seniors have been devastated by inflation. We're going to have no tax on Social Security for our seniors. If any senior doesn't vote for Trump, we're going to have to send you to a psychiatrist to have your head examined.
Really? Because these people seem pretty sane to me.
I've lived in a constitutional democracy all my life. I want to remain that way, and I want my grandchildren to grow up in one, not a dictatorship.
And I'm curious, over the last two elections, have you voted Trump in the past? Was it something where you voted for him, you trusted him, and you were disappointed?
Yes, I voted for him in 2016. I am a registered Republican, and I regretted that vote almost immediately.
There's a lot to unpack here, but let's start with Social Security because he just flat out lied about wanting to protect it.
You changed your outlook on how to handle entitlements, Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, Mr. President. It seems like something has to be done, or else we're going to be stuck at 120% of debt to GDP forever.
So first of all, there is a lot you can do in terms of entitlements, in terms of cutting.
And if you don't think Trump will get rid of Social Security, here's a friendly reminder from Trump's daughter-in-law, who's also the head of the RNC.
No, Donald Trump gets in for 4 more years. The jig is up for them. The gloves are off. There are no holds barred here. He is going full throttle. He's not worried about winning another election. It's 4 years of scorched earth when Donald Trump retakes the White House.
And this has been something Republicans have been wanting to do for a very long time.
Entitlements are going to consume the budget. Right now, we're at 2050, we're going to have 185% of debt to GDP. Medicare and Social Security and other entitlement programs are worth saving are going to consume the debt. We're down to a small fraction of the federal pie to run the discretionary part of government. So entitlement reform is a must for us to not become Greece.
Look, I believe that we have to have a discussion about raising the age of Social Security. I think that is not a likelihood with Joe Biden in the White House and a Democrat Senate. But do I believe that forever and always the age of Social Security will be what it is today?
Anyone that says they're not going to take on entitlement reform means they're going to go in and be president and leave the country bankrupt. You can't do that. Yes, we have to do entitlement reform.
The amount of darvo about cutting Social Security and Medicare that the MAGA movement has done has been, just, hats off. They have been the ones accusing Democrats of destroying Social Security, destroying Medicare, and all of these things. These are people that, and they have been the ones, historically from the Tea Party days, the MAGA days, they talk, they've been coded, they've been uncoded. They want to get rid of Social Security. They want to water it down. They want to, George W. Bush tried to do this. It's been on the docket forever. And it's easy to start the scare because they go, oh, well, it's going to be bankrupt. We need to do something about it. And then you have, the actual government officials that are in charge of this, which are, fiscally conservative people, fiscally moderate, run the numbers and say it's actually not in danger of being, bankrupt. We just need to keep putting money into it and not drawing from it every year. The more you fund it, it will be fine. Just fund it and stop defunding it. But I will say it again. The darvo magic on Social Security that MAGA's done, they're actively trying to do it. It's in Project 2025. They have said it multiple times, again and again and again. And, they back off when they realize that people were actually listening. But, it's everywhere. And their fingerprints are all over it. Yet they have the absolute nerve to come and say that the Democrats want to steal your Social Security. It's amazing gymnastics. No notes. And the greatest trick they ever did was, the whole entitlement programs and labeling Social Security as an entitlement. Like the money you put into, like, you're getting taxed. This has been, the taxes that have been taken out of your salary for years. And, somehow this is like money that you're not, entitled to, right? Like, it's like, oh, you're just so entitled, like it's welfare. Like, no, that is your money. You've been paying into this system. We've all been paying into this system. And it's like also capped. I mean, what is it like, 250K? Like after 250K, they don't, every dollar above that you make above 250K, you don't pay that, which, there's talk now of like raising that because 250K is not the salary it was in, the 80s, 90s, and early aughts. I mean, 250K is like what you have to make in this country to live, slightly above the poverty line, thanks to, BlackRock and Zillow and other companies that just, buy up houses en masse. Republicans, they want to use scare tactics to say, oh, Social Security, it's going to be bankrupt and all of you are going to lose your Social Security if we don't do this, draconian measure, like raising the age. I mean, these are, why would you? No, I mean, you should lower the age. I mean, this is at a time when, there's no social services in this country. There's no safety net. And you're just going to actually like take away the safety net that people have towards this. I mean, that is bad, right? I mean, they want to do this. It's a way to defund it. The Republicans, so when you go back to George W. Bush, he tried to privatize it. And that was not popular. He had, very, he had like Republican Senate, Republican Congress at the time. I mean, he had the power to like get it moving. And even his most loyal people were like, bro, I don't know about this. Even people, because they knew, even in people in like very red, R+20 districts were like, bro, we're not going to get away with this. I can't co-sign this. Like my voters will show up and, primary challenge me. Like this is not going to work. And this is at a time like in the early aughts, and he had power, in what is, a very conservative country. So he couldn't even get away with it then. So directly attacking it, just like with abortion, it's not going to work. You need to, chip away at it from the sides and, take out this program and, just cut the teeth out of the program. And then when it's, dried up, you go, oh, like why do we even have this relic, Social Security? What's that even? Ugh, right? Yeah, I mean, that's what they've done with everything else. They run on, the fact that government doesn't work, and then they get into office and they break the system and then claim it doesn't work. I mean, we've been here before. Trump and the cronies are lying about Social Security and blaming it on Democrats. Like Democrats are going to destroy Social Security because immigrants, immigrants, famous for collecting Social Security, right? So, I mean, that's the thing is when you're an immigrant, you're undocumented, like you don't get federal benefits. The state can give you benefits. There are programs, but by and large, you do not have access to, our benefit programs. You don't, that's one of the things bolstering a lot of, our programs is that you have, undocumented, you have immigrants paying into a system that they are not going to get anything back from. So the migrant thing, the immigrant thing is like when you run the numbers, those institutions are being held up and bolstered by immigrants and tons of people paying into a system that they will never reap the benefits of. So it's situation around Social Security. There should be more protections around it. We need to raise the threshold on it. from, I mean, what is it, 250 now, to raise it to 450, raise it higher. You know, people can keep paying into it. You know, billionaires can pay into it. You know, why not? I mean, why not, you know, have, you know, when we do these wealth taxes, you know, because right now, like, if, you know, if you make above 250K, none of that's going towards Social Security.